first off, I want to start off saying how much I hate the society we live in today, the generation we live in today, when it comes to how men see and treat women who have 3+ more kids and 2 or more baby daddies, and how they 4 years. So this is my problem. Okay, with the guys that say women ain't, you can't take these women serious. I'd rather choose women that have no kids. And the ones that don't have no kids, you don't know if they had abortions. You don't know how many men they slept with, because I'd rather pick a woman that has no kids and has probably been with way more men in 1 year, because they have the freedom. And they're out here dating them all. So it could be 50+ dudes that they've been with or they're trying to get to know, versus the 2 baby daddies I have dealt with.
And you have the unmitigated gall to try to shame the females that don't have kids. We keep getting lower. Right when I think we can't get any lower, she still figures out a way to take it further down low. Welcome back, Motivation Nation. It is your host, Air Gordon, and we come back for another one. So it looks to me like we got sent a video here that's going to be a bit out of control, and they want our opinion. So with no further ado, let's give them exactly what they want. So let's get into this content.
Hey, I'm gonna try to make this video quick. I got so much to say, so much emotion right now. But first off, I want to start off saying how much I hate the society we live in today, the generation we live in today, when it comes to how men see and treat women who have 3+ more kids and 2 or more baby daddies, and how they try to put us in a category of women who are not worthy of being wives or married to or taken serious. And here's why. Because not everybody's situation is the same. So the way you guys categorize us, I'm not understanding. For one, let me go ahead and be real and wrong with my situations and to why shit didn't last or work out in my case. And you cannot fault me for it. For one, first kid.
Let's stop right here. Hang on. So we're already starting this video off bad. You've got 3+ kids by 2 different men, and it's not your fault. And you're upset because nobody wants to take you serious and take on the burden of having to take care of you and 3 to 4 kids that they didn't create, and deal with 2 men that they don't know that both had relationships with you and kids with you. And you don't understand why a rational person doesn't want to take that on. And you're not holding yourself accountable in any of this. I don't know how long this, I do know how long. This video is like 11 minutes long of you explaining to us that you're going to explain to us why all of this that happened to you is not your fault. Okay, got it. Just wanted to make sure I understood what was going on thus far. Okay, let's let her get into this. All right.
Was by someone I went to high school with. Okay, we got together in our early 20s. I had my daughter by the age of 22. So he was somebody, of course, I knew of. You know, I guess you could say.
And that ain't your fault either. You don't think you had anything to do with that. You don't think you guys should have protected yourself so you didn't have a child at 22 years old? You think that was old enough to be starting a family? I don't know. But anyway, let's let her go on. I just had to stop. I'm gonna let her go on. I'm gonna try not to stop because it's gonna be a long.
Grew up with whatever. In the beginning it was fine. It wasn't until after I had the baby where shit just hit the fan. But his thing was, he grew up in a household where his mom and dad fought all the time. But they were married and they are still together today, to this day. And I guess he felt like the only way we're gonna survive or make a long relationship is if we fought every day. I'm gonna tell you right now, today, I'm not gonna spend my life fighting like Ike and Tina. Just because you have this idea that we're supposed to fight every day. And I mean fighting. I mean fight. But I'm not talking about arguing. I'm talking about putting hands on each other. I don't have time for it. So, I got to the point where I said, he got one more time. He got one more time, and I'm done. And that pretty much was what happened. I just did not want my daughter to feel like that was okay. And she's being a little girl. I don't ever want her to think that what I was going through was okay and acceptable. So therefore, I cut it off. Now, before I cut it off, I'm not gonna lie, we were engaged. We had rings. Both of us had rings, and we also went to the courthouse. Had marriage license, but we never went on to actually get it completed and signed. So I'm not saying, everybody that I've ever been with, they know I want to be married. That has always been what I wanted. I'm not being with you just for us to just be dating and fucking around.
Let me just pause for a quick second. So basically, you just told us that he comes from a dysfunctional family where his parents fought all the time. So he thought that that's how you guys were supposed to run your relationship. Now, you said you were with him since high school. You got pregnant at 21. You should have known that about this guy at that particular point in time. So by you knowing that, why then would you go forward into having a child with this guy, knowing that that's not something that you liked? And if you're going to say, well, I didn't know that, then you should have gotten to know more about this individual before you actually had a child with him. You guys did every step to get married, but didn't actually go through with the marriage. So yeah, you are at fault here. You do have to take some of the fault because he showed you who he was, and I guess you thought you could change him, or you didn't believe it. And so let's let her continue. But I just had to pause it right there because no, ma'am, you knew who this guy was. He showed you who he was. You have been around his family. So you knew these things about him, but yet you chose to proceed forward. These are your decisions. These are your bad decisions. And so we're going to bring these bad decisions to a point at the end because I already know where she's going to go with this, but we're going to bring all this to a head at the end.
And not get married. So yeah, that's something I've always discussed with everybody. Okay? So I made it known that I wanted to be married. Alright, so baby daddy number 2. After I broke up with the first one. Baby number 2 comes around. We dated for a whole year. He had some baby mamas before me. And of course, I told him in the beginning, like, if you want your family, we could just.
Okay, pause right there. I hate to keep stopping it, but so you leave one guy and you get with another guy, and he's a baby daddy, as you're saying. He has other children, looks like by other women, and you're proceeding to move forward with him. He's showing you he's not responsible. Here you are with a broken family. Now you're getting with a man with a broken family. All right, let's let her continue. Just making sure we're taking notes on all this stuff as she's speaking.
Friends, I ain't trying to deal with baby mama drama. I ain't got time for it, sir. I have no problem. We could just be friends. You go on and live that life. Well, as months and months go on, after a year, I'm realizing that he went from not wanting his baby mama to you still kind of like sneaking talking to her and things. And it was making me uncomfortable. So I sat down one day with him and I told him I'm not in love with him. I think he should just go back and be with his baby mama because, and I remember sitting on this little bitty ass couch of mine and I'm telling this man this. And he was like, he wasn't like mad about it or nothing. He just kind of was cool. But not even a week later, I find out I'm pregnant. And I'm devastated because at this point, I don't want another kid. 2, I don't want another baby daddy. And I just don't want to just be with this dude after, knowing he might still want his baby mama. So I was like literally stressed in the beginning. I was stressed. And
so again, we just got to keep pointing out the because she said she wasn't at fault. So we got to just keep pointing out where you were at fault. You said you didn't want to be with him, and a week later, after you guys break up, you find out you're pregnant, which means that you were still sleeping with a guy that you didn't want to be with anymore. Why would you do that? And obviously you were sleeping with him unprotected because you ended up getting pregnant. So that's just irresponsible on your behalf if you already know that you're trying to get out of there. Why would you continue to sleep with him unprotected? Because you know you're going to be at risk of having a child. Now, here you are admitting you didn't want to be pregnant by him. You didn't want another child. Okay. All right. So this is great news. This is excellent news to hear. All right.
I remember praying. I remember just praying, and I was like, God, if it's meant for me to have this child, please just let him be healthy and let it be a boy. Hold it, hold it, ended up being a boy. My baby dad and I got back together, was trying to fix some things, was trying to work it out. And we stayed together. We ended up having another kid. I remember after having the second kid, he gave me a ring because he knew I wanted to be married or whatnot, but we never went on and got married because too much was going on. I'm not gonna lie, that relationship was toxic. It was too much going on, and I really just, it was so toxic. I was getting to the point where I would look in the mirror and I couldn't recognize myself. It was so much going on both sides, and it was just too much fighting, too much. It was just not healthy in no form or fashion. So I made a decision to go ahead and break that off, and it was beyond repair. There was nothing we could fix. I'm sorry. It was just unfixable. I'm sorry. And the thing about me, and I'm Aquarius, when I love you hard. And I'm going to do all I can. So in that second relationship, I spent 8 years trying to fix on something that just was not going nowhere. My first baby daddy, that was 4 years. So this is my problem. Okay, with the guys that say you can't take these women serious. I'd rather choose women that have no kids. And the ones that don't have no kids, you don't know if they had abortions. You don't know how many men they slept with because they don't have kids. They out here dating them all. You don't know. So you mean to tell me against my two, you rather pick a woman that has no kids and has probably been with way more men in 1 year because they have the freedom and they're out here dating them all. So it could be 50 plus dudes that they've been with or they're trying to get to know versus the two baby daddies I have dealt with in those 12 years. Then they want to mention about us having stretched out.
So, ma'am, are you now trying to shame women who don't have kids at all? And you're basically saying that they could potentially be promiscuous, but because they didn't have children, you don't know how promiscuous these women were because you have made a bunch of bad decisions in your life and you now have kids by two different men. So now you've stooped so low as to say that the women that have taken care of themselves and have been responsible and don't have children are promiscuous women who have slept with multiple men and the men don't know how many men that these women have slept with, all because they don't have children. Ma'am, you're delusional. You're absolutely delusional. And you are the problem. You've attracted this mayhem and madness in your life, and now you're having to deal with the consequences of the decisions that you made. You knew off the top about baby daddy number one. I could have told you just from what you described he wasn't going to work out. And baby daddy number two, I could have told you from what you described. I don't need a crystal ball to figure this out. And you have the unmitigated gall to try to shame the females that don't have kids. Man, let's let this nonsense continue. This is utter nonsense. And on top of that, you're upset because no man wants to take on all of this baggage that you're dragging into his life. And if he doesn't already have kids, now he instantly has a family and two other men he's got to contend with to deal with you. And he can go deal with some of these other women that don't have kids at all. And they can just live their life and do what they want to do and create their own family. Now you're mad at the men and the women. Okay, got it. I mean, hey man, you can't make this up, man. This is a real person talking to. This is not an AI bot. This is not a robot. And this is a real person telling a real story.
Or uteruses or whatever. So yeah, I have carried 3 kids in my uterus. I have between the pounds of 5 pounds and 6 pounds. My kids were never big. But do you know that when you breastfeed, the uterus contracts and it shrinks back to the size that it was before you became pregnant? Did y'all know that? People feel like breastfeeding is just for the baby. It is indeed also for the mother as well. It shrinks our uterus back to where it was. And I breastfed every last one of my kids up until they were a year. So, okay. Let's just go throw that fact out there. Okay, so versus a woman who's probably had 12 abortions. Do you know what abortion does to our uterus? The scarring of the tissue. Unless they took a pill, depending on when they caught the pregnancy. But do you know what it does to the body. And I'm just not the type to just go lay on the table or take a pill. I'm the type of person, I can't even run over a squirrel if he was running in front of me right now. I will literally flip this car to save a squirrel than my own self. Isn't that crazy? I'm just not that woman. And it's the fact that you guys would rather choose women who don't have kids versus a woman who has kids, who's a nurturer, a provider that will go over and beyond for you, who would love you deeply in places that in ways you've never been loved. You would rather see her as less value. It's crazy to me.
Right when I thought you couldn't stoop any lower, you figured out a way to go even lower than I thought you could even go. I thought we were already at the floor, but some kind of way you found a shovel and you figured out a way to dig even lower than that. So now we're saying that the women who do not have children have not only had one abortion, but they've had multiple abortions. That's your logic. I guess you can't fathom that everybody is not irresponsible and everybody is not having unprotected sex. I guess that doesn't enter your mind at all. And that these women are some kind of way disgusting because they don't have kids. So because they don't have them, they had to have aborted them. It couldn't have been a situation where they haven't been pregnant and they haven't had any abortions. But the women that don't have children, some kind of way in your mind had to have an abortion. That's your logic. That's your reason for why you don't have a man. And now you're trying to shame men who don't want this problem that you're bringing. I don't know you and I'm watching you on the internet and you're a problem. You're a problem and I don't know you. I couldn't imagine someone trying to get to know you to date you. It sounds to me like it would be trying to catch a speeding bullet coming at your head. Nobody wants that. You're and you're shaming everyone else. But like you said from the beginning, you're not at fault here. It's everybody else's fault. And it's that mentality that's going to keep you in the position that you're in. But let's let it go on. Hey, y'all, get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think if y'all made it this far. I know this is crazy. We got a few more minutes.
Crazy to me. And I get when some men feel like the baby mama and the baby daddy might still mess around. I'm going to tell you right now. Baby, neither one of my exes can say I allowed them to have we done anything after completely breaking up. Completely breaking up and calling it quits. We have not been together sexually. Let alone we have not even been in the same room together. The first baby daddy don't even have my number. I don't have his. We don't even talk. And it's not against him or nothing. He got some things going on in his life, that I can't speak on. But the second one is good and blocked. Only because he does not know how to co-parent in a way where we can be, healthy and positive. I've tried. I try to be cool with him. I try to be at peace with him. But, look, Sue, I know you over there trying to clap cheeks and all that. I get that. Do you? But please, come get your kids. I'm not going to chase no man behind getting your kids. I'm just not going to do it. And if you're going to get on my nerves or if you're going to bring up the past, we don't even need to talk. Block you.
Again, we keep getting lower. Right when I think we can't get any lower, she still figures out a way to take it further down low. So now the new guy, has to contend with a baby daddy who you can't even talk to. He's blocked. Who doesn't want to see his own children, but as soon as another man shows up, he's going to want to be father of the year to be around just to disrupt your life and the new man's life. Who you think want to take that? What man has got something going for himself is going to settle down with something like this? He has to now contend with two men that have children by you. Who do you think wants that problem? Life's hard enough. Bills are high enough. Gas is high enough. Groceries are high enough. Now, who wants to deal with two hardheads that he doesn't know about a woman that he's trying to date that they've already had kids with? What sane man wants that, ma'am? You're the product of your decisions. This is the consequences of the choices that you made. So don't get on this internet and try to shame men and women that haven't made these poor, horrible decisions that you've made. Because this is all on you. Instead of going.
So, I mean, I just, those chapters of my life is closed, completely closed. We're not messing around. Have no desire to mess around. I don't desire them in no form or fashion. It's the craziest things, but I am an Aquarius. So when I'm over you, I'm over you. It's no retracting. There's no going back. I know a lot of my exes probably think like, dang, I wonder if she missed me. You know, you had your chance. If you didn't see my worth the first time, I'm not gonna force it the second time. And once I close that chapter, it is closed. I don't feel anything anymore. I would literally walk past you like I don't know you. And that's just how I am. But the way they try to lessen your worth because you chose, you know, to love and be a human and a mother is crazy.
Well, see, no one has lessened your worth, ma'am. That has nothing to do with your worth. I had to stop it here so I don't forget what I was going to say. No one's lessening your worth. People are just saying they don't want to take on your baggage. That's not lessening your worth. They don't want your baggage, and you can't be upset with that because, in a sense, you're lessening the other person's worth by bringing in all of your baggage and all of your bills. So the amount of money that they have goes down because you got to take care of you and 3 kids. So no one's lessening your worth. They're just not accepting what you're bringing, and that's okay. You got to find someone that's doing what you're doing, and you guys got to figure it out. The problem is you're not getting who you want. But anyway, let's let her finish. Ain't that much longer, then we give our closing remarks. We'll move on.
And another thing is, why I feel like it's our generation, because my mom, I'm in the same situation as my mother. She has 3 kids, 2 baby daddies. After she had us, she still got married twice to 2 different men. That didn't stop them from getting married. That didn't stop them. And why they divorced had nothing to do with the fact that she had kids or 2 baby daddies. It's just our generation that we live in today that these people try to make this standard. So this and that, but you can go sleep with however many women you want to, and you can't value somebody that knows how to love or try to love the best way they know how. It's different. I was just out there sleeping with any and everybody and ended up pregnant and kept the baby and then got another baby. No, that is not. Please don't put me in that category. Please don't. But I just cannot.
Well, first of all, I come from an era of a child stays in a child place. So you don't know why your mom got divorced and married multiple times. You don't know the answer to those questions. So stay in your place. You don't know. But it just goes to show, it seems as though you're a product of your environment and what you saw and what you thought was okay. And unfortunately, this is a big issue, especially now because people make decisions and they don't understand and they don't expect the consequences. And then when those consequences show up, then they don't know how to handle them. And now you have regret, and now you're upset, and now you're looking for somebody to come and save you. But that's just not the reality. The reality is that you've gotten with 2 guys that you didn't properly vet, you didn't properly get to know. And then once you did get to know them, you hang on for too long and you stayed with them, and you allowed the second guy to impregnate you twice. And you already knew that that wasn't the right guy for you. He came to you in a broken state, in a bad state, but you still chose to go forward with him, and he broke you even further. But the wrong thing to do is to blame the men and the women that don't have children for the reason why you're in the condition that you're in, and then saying that this is a problem with the new generation and that they should have to accept what you're bringing to the table because that's what you want. See, that's what you want. That's selfish. And that's your problem. You're selfish. You're only worried about what you want. You're not even considering what the other person wants or what they're bringing to the table. It's about you, you, you. And that's why you are in the position and the situation that you're in. It's time for you to do some soul searching. You need to know thyself. It's time to get into your Bible. It's time to understand yourself, understand decisions, understand consequences, and stop trying to shame those that didn't make bad decisions like you. Anyway, Video been long enough, guys. So what I need y'all to do is jump down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this, because this was absolutely a bananas story. Johnny goes bananas on this one. But I'd like to hear from you guys. I do appreciate everyone who does leave the comments. I appreciate the community. It's building. We're growing. It's all because of you guys. So that's it for this video. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out.